So now we are going to solve task number 18D from the textbook. The question says you work for Tawara High School, you'll edit some data about mathematics faculty. Using a suitable database package, so we are going to use Microsoft Access here. You are going to import the file teachers.csv. This file I'll also be uploading on Google Classroom Wall for your reference. So import the file teachers.csv. So let's do that first. It's the same method as we have done for task 18B and 18A also. And you will have the fields as S code, which should have the data type as text, first name as text, second name as text, student name as text, subject as text, room should be integer or a numeric value. So I'll go back to the Access. I'll click on open, or let's try to use it from the external data. This is the general practice. So we'll click on text file. You'll choose the file from the data source. You can see I have already downloaded the file called as teachers.csv. So I'll click on teachers.csv. I'll click open, import the source data, click OK. Now it says delimited. You can see it's showing teacher's ID, phone name, S name, subject, room, etc. So we'll move in the same manner right now. We'll click next, containing the first field name. Again, clicking on next. And then here you will make the changes. As you could see, teacher, now I'll go back to the question again. Set the S-code field as a key field. Import students.csv. Now again, you also have to take one more table, which is students.csv. So let's complete with this task first. So here let it be as teacher's ID. Just one sec. Yeah, teacher's ID. The phone name I'll change it as F name. That's what the question was about to tell you. So I'm changing this. Writing as first name. Again, if you see the text, it shows the text. Moving on, surname should be S name. So you'll remove this. You'll write S name, which is having a data type as short text. Subject as text, correct. Now let's go to the room. Room should be a numeric or an integer. So you can just take integer right now. I'm not using a long integer, just normal ones. And teacher ID, I'll make it as, instead of teacher ID, let me make it as S code. S code. I'll use the same words as provided. Again, it's a short text. Let it be in the same manner. Going ahead to the next. Now it's asking you whether you want to add a primary key or you have to choose your primary key. So if you read the question, set the S code field as a key field. So I'll click on this and I'll say choose my own primary key from the drop down list, which allows you to choose. So I'm selecting S code as a primary. So the data should not be repeated. Just go through it once and see if the data is not repeating. And yeah, correct. So we'll move on to the next. Give the name as, right now I'm making it as TBL teachers, using the same pattern as given in your textbook too. So I have TBL teachers as the name and I say finish. It will take a minute and the table will be reflected here. So just to show you in this manner, you can see all the names are reflected and everything. Now similar manner, you will import student. That's what your next question says. Import the file students.csv as a new table in your database and set student ID as a key field. Create one-to-many relationship between S code and math field. Let's first take up the student table. So we'll click on data source, go to file, take text file. Again, choose the browse option, use student.csv, open, import the source data, click OK. It will take a minute. Now it will ask you again, delimited characters. We'll use the same pattern. Now I'll select the first row, which is containing the field names. Moving ahead next. Now here we'll just go through it so that to understand whether we have short text as student ID, student first name as short text, student last name as short text. Then we have English again as a short text, mathematics is there as a short text, and science is also again as a short text. So you can see everything is already there. Now our next step would be just click on next. Again, it's asking you to choose a primary key. So primary key, as we know, it's unique here. It says set student ID field as a key field. Okay, in the student table, you have to use student ID. So you'll select choose my own primary key. From the drop down, you'll choose student ID and you'll click on next. Again, the name that for the table that I'm trying to provide here, let me write it as TBL students and I click on finish. Again, this will close. So you can see the table is there. I'm just opening the design view to make you understand. So you can see there's a key icon present at the top, which indicates this is a primary key. Again, in the tables, if I open the design view, you can see Peters, when I open the design view, you can see the S code is a primary key here. Now what you need to do is you need to implement relational database. That's what our task is. That's what we are learning. Relational means you're extracting one-to-many relationship. When I say create one-to-many relationship between the table S code and math field in the student table. So again, going back to the database, now you have two tables, teachers and student. You have to create the relationship. So at the top, you can see there's an option which is called as database tool in the menu bar. Click on database tool. Now locate where is relationship. You can see relationship where it is pointing. When I am assigning relationship, what I'm trying to do is I'm defining how the data in the tables are related and how you are interconnecting two tables. So I'll click on relationship. You can see there is a box coming up at one side. It says add table. This is a pane which will reflect. If in case you're not able to view this, there is again an icon in the menu bar which will allow you to click on this. Now what are the tables that you want to add here? So the first table that I want is the teachers table. So I'm just dragging it, placing it here. Again, I need a student table, dragging it, placing it here. So you can see both this has a primary key constraint here. Going back to the question again, it says create one-to-many relationship as a link. Now where are the link that you're creating is S code. Okay, S code in the teachers table. So this is my teachers table, S code, and math field in the student table. So there's a math field in the student table which you need to create. Now what you will do is you'll provide a relationship between S code till the relation. Now I'm just trying to put across a relation. You can see if you're not getting this box, you can even click on edit relationship. This is a box which will appear at the top. Just click this, the box appears. Now which table you want, you will select it. So I'm just selecting. So the box has appeared from where to where I have wanting. I'm wanting S code field in the teachers table, math field in the student table. Now, as you have used your cursor to connect this relationship, the next step that you have to do is the box which is appearing, you have multiple options below here as a checked box. The first one says enforce referential integrity. We are actually here trying to provide you with different relationships. Okay. And at the type, you can even see it says create, cancel, join type, or create any other. So the relationship that you can see is one-to-many, which we are trying to establish. So whenever you're trying to do, just click on create. If in case there is a relationship which does not have a primary key and you're trying to connect, at times you may find a difficulty over here. So just ensure that the primary key is assigned before you try to link it as a referential integrity, or I would say a relationship as one-to-many. So here right now I know my S code is a primary key and math is key which is not a primary key. So this I can connect and form as one-to-many information. So one teacher can have multiple students who have opted for math. This is what the logic says here. So we'll click on create. So you can see there's a line coming across which indicates there is a relationship between the table established. Now what you need to do is you have to go back to the table question again. So it says after you have done this, just save the file as task 18D. So we'll stop here and we'll save the file database first. So I'm just saving. And let me save it as database and give the name as task 18D. It will take a minute. And then the box appears and I'm just writing task 18D. Saved. So this is how enable content, and you'll be able to see your contents of the tables. If I just see the relationship, you will see again the relationships has been established in this manner.